Hi. All right. I just got home from therapy this morning. Um, I've had so many big emotions this weekend, and it seems kind of silly. Not silly, but um, like I'm just learning how to really feel them and feel all of them and let them all be okay. Um, like all the things that feel scary. Um, a woman with small children in our community passed away this weekend. Another really close family friend was diagnosed with terminal cancer. Like, there's just so many things that I feel like we're all faced with, like, and maybe it was just my privilege before, that I didn't have to. Um, I wasn't always scared that it would just be the end, for myself, for someone in my family, for someone I loved. And so more and more now, since COVID and cancer, and um, it just, it feels like it's just like right there, right? Like you're driving on a cliff. And if you look down over the side, like that's it, right? So that's a lot to feel. That's a lot to feel. And I'm someone who used to not feel, like I would feel a little bit. So, and then I would drink about it. And not like excessively, but I'd have a few glasses of wine, right? Like sometimes excessively. And so anyways, now being sober and sugar-free, dairy-free, gluten-free, it's like all of my vices are gone. Um, and I'm at a point in my life where I just I want to face it. I want to sit with it because it is controlling me instead of me. I don't want to say controlling it because that's part of the situation. That's part of the experiment, is also learning to not have to be in control, learning that you're safe. So it is a surrendering to life rather than controlling it, right? And we are powerful co-creators, and we're here for the journey, and we create some of it. But again, co-creators, meaning that, we're not totally in control, right? I mean, ultimately, God is, or Great Spirit, or whatever it is that you pray to or don't pray to, or whatever, but there's a force bigger than you and I believe. So, just getting over a cold. That also makes it worse because when you're sick, then you're just like, oh my God, what if I'm dying? An irrational fear. And also, that's real too. Um, so I listened to this thing. So control and fear and grief. Are you living in grief, which I think so many of us are because of the past couple of years, the way the world has changed so dramatically, the way we've all lost people in different ways, the fear that's been projected onto us by media and everyone else. So there's so many layers. But again, is it fear or is it grief? Are you living in a place of grief? Where everything is just tender, and we've been taught to numb grief and run away from it and not feel it. So feeling it feels really big. Or are you living in fear, right? Where like the grief is so big and you don't know how to hold it even, and so it's just scary. So then everything becomes scary. I don't know if there's one answer. I don't know if it's this or that, but maybe just helpful to differentiate, like, okay, this part is grief and this part is fear. And my therapist was saying, grief doesn't change. Like grief, stays, like grief's gonna stay this size. But we build resiliency around it, right? Faith and trust and friendship and community and support and all of those things help us to build resiliency. So the grief is still there and we still hold it, but it doesn't run our lives. It doesn't cause us to run into fear and shut down and get even smaller than the grief, right? So that was very helpful for me to hear today, and be able to kind of just create space to hold it all. So I hope that that is also helpful for you. If you're living in grief or in a place of fear, you're not alone, not even close. But my offer would be to sit with it as much as you can. Breathe into it. Where do you feel it in your body? What does it need you to know? What does it feel like? And if that's too much, that's okay. Don't force yourself to grow or heal faster than you're actually capable of, or there's magic in the journey and in the process of it all too. So just pour a cup of tea, welcome it up, see what it has to say, see what you have to say. Check in with yourself, check in with your heart. I think it's vital because we got to show up in this world. We got to show up for ourselves and we got to show up for each other. We got to. I love you.